What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Adam Theory. Today, I wanted to talk about financial education, but not in the traditional sense. No, today I want to talk about financial education for kids. When I was growing up, I didn't have the slightest idea what the stock market was until I was 18 years old. The extent of my financial awareness was checking and savings accounts. Looking back, I honestly don't know if I could have done something different to get introduced to investing at an earlier age. I don't honestly think I could have even done it had I taken the right classes in school because it wasn't something that we really talked about. My parents taught me the value of saving money, but the idea of investing in stocks, bonds, or precious metals was never a topic that really came up. Now, I might be wrong, but I think at my high school, business classes weren't mandatory, and I was more interested in the STEM classes anyway, and so I didn't take that many business classes outside of the one mandatory one that I needed once a year, so I never really did a deep dive into investment. So that world passed me by pretty quickly, and I'm pretty sure that for a lot of kids, it's the same situation where they just don't take those classes, and so that world is pretty much clueless to them. To be honest, I don't even know, had I even taken those classes, if investing would be a topic that we would have covered, because business classes back when I was in school didn't really focus on that as a topic. I think teaching kids about importance of financial investment should be something that's done at an early age, maybe right after potty training. It's a golden opportunity at one of the most influential ages of a person's life, but teaching those habits at an early age will last them a lifetime. I'm not saying kids should learn to become full-blown stock traders, but what I do think is that kids have an opportunity to learn the impact of saving and investing and a return on their investment. And you might be wondering what got me thinking about this topic. Well, for me, I love teaching, and I think that there's a great opportunity. My brother has two cute little ones now, and my close friends all have their packs of tiny humans as well. So I'm surrounded by these students of life that are hungry to learn and explore different topics. So I think if we have a chance to teach kids about something that's going to help them have more financial freedom in their future, it's something that everyone should take part in, because the best thing we can do is arm them with the right information and education to make those decisions for themselves as they grow older. In the summer of 2019, one of my close friends sent me a photo of his 5-year-old and 3-year-old sitting out front of their house with their lemonade stand. They were so excited that they FaceTimed me to tell me how much money they made. If I remember correctly, they made about $20, which isn't bad for one afternoon's worth of work. Now, by this point, these two kids have been by my side since the very beginning of my own company's existence. They've been some of the earliest innovators and my beta testers from day one. And so they know that I've got my own business, and I talk to them about it every time I see them. And so for me, it was so proud to watch them talk about their own business and how much success they had. And so I didn't want to miss out on an opportunity to try and teach, and so I asked them what they planned to do with that money. I can't remember exactly what their answer was, but saving or reinvesting was not part of the long-term roadmap of their lemonade stand. It was pretty clear that it was just going to be a weekend endeavor and they were going to move on to their next big bright idea. And as I remember it, when I recommended they buy more lemons to make more lemonade, they shot that idea down pretty quickly. And, I can't blame them for not wanting to put more money into more lemons, and another weekend it's sitting out front to try to sell it. Regardless, it was a cute interaction and it got me thinking, how soon is too soon to teach kids about investing and financial education? Fast forward to this year. Those two same kids are now 5 and 7, and I thought I'd try again to teach them about investing. This time is going to be a bit different though. More of a deal or no deal type of scenario. I offered them both $20 for their birthday that they just had. They could take the money, no questions asked, and do whatever they wanted with it, or they could take that money and let me invest it in Bitcoin for them, and they could take out that money at any point after they waited a full year. So at their next birthday, they have the option to leave the money in the form of Bitcoin, or take it out and do with that cash as they please. I thought it was a great opportunity to teach them about return on investment, about assets, about appreciating value, but also about patience. Now, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't 100% sure which direction the kids would go with the option of cash now or investment for later, but my hunch was that I'd get neither kid to take me up on the deal, and at best just one of the kids. When I presented them each their $20, their instant reaction to my question of cash now or investment for later, it was no surprise that it was cash now. I'll be honest, I was a little bit heartbroken. I mean, they're 5 and 7 years old. What can you expect, right? That being said, I got an assist from their parents, who did a much better job of articulating what they might be missing out on if they took an instant gratification of $20 as opposed to reinvesting it and seeing what would happen over time. As their parents put it, that $20 could be worth $100 one day, and the allure of it potentially being worth $100 after one quick trip around the sun was quite compelling for the 7-year-old, and he quickly changed his mind to wanting Bitcoin as an investment. So here's where it got interesting. The moment the 7-year-old converted to becoming a Bitcoin investor, he got to work on his younger sister. He wanted to share the wealth and make sure that she was an early adopter as well. I didn't catch the whole conversation as they were whispering and converted her to take the Bitcoin investment as well. And so, much to my surprise, they both offered to give the $20 back to make sure that they could reinvest into Bitcoin and see what happened in the future. My secret hope is that they continue to roll that investment forward every year, and by the time that they're teenagers, it helps them afford some big major purchase that they've been working towards. My stretch goal would actually be for them to hold it for 20 years, but also to continue to add to that investment because they see the potential of the ROI that they could accrue over time. But I'm just going to take this experiment 1 year at a time and see where it goes from here. I thought it was so fascinating to watch the situation play out in real time. You could see the importance of trust as well as a network effect taking place in a conversation between a 5 and a 7-year-old talking about financial decisions that on surface level are pretty small, but hopefully in terms of foundational habits are monumental. Now I just need to make sure that their ROI truly does come true and that Bitcoin does what I think it's capable of doing. Otherwise, their Uncle Adam has some explaining to do next year at their birthdays. I also think one cool hack is to have some form of a symbolic gesture that you can give them in a physical sense so they understand what they're getting. So for the 7-year-old, I gave him a fake Bitcoin that he could hold on to so he could remember about his investment. Anyway, I just thought it was a really cool opportunity to try to introduce financial education into the minds of a 5 and 7-year-old that potentially could see this as an opportunity for them to continue building that knowledge over time and alongside that knowledge, their wealth. Anyway, I just thought it was a really fun and cute way to teach some kids about financial investment. And hopefully over time, they see a great return on that investment. We can't rely on the school system to do it for us. And by the time kids are old enough to realize it themselves and get jobs, it's hard to change old habits of spend now versus save for later. And so it's our responsibility to make sure that we help create the best habits we can at the earliest of ages because that'll survive with them throughout their lifetime. Albert Einstein said that compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Those that understand it, earn it, and those that don't, pay it. So let's make sure that kids understand it. Let's teach kids the value of investing so they can start earning their compound interest on their journey towards financial security as soon as they have their piggy banks. Thanks for joining me on Adam Theory. Stay curious, ask questions, and build your theory. Thanks.